So class today on our space and light theme is, so we're heading towards dancer pose, Natarajasana. So trying to get space in a back bend. But firstly, we're going to practice our Kapalabhati, skull shining breath. You can come forward here, sorry. Which may be easier to sit with have your hands on your stomach to feel the sensation of the out breath, and then the in breath takes care of itself. So we'll just start with a practice round of 5, but then we'll take a breath, and then we'll do 3 rounds of 10 pumps. So when we're starting, you inhale deeply, exhale completely, inhale halfway, and then you start to pump. The in breath will take care of itself, so you're only concentrating on the out breath, and the out breath, the exhale, is the stomach goes in and you blow out through your nose. So try and keep your mouth closed. If you need a tissue or anything, you might want to grab one now, but it doesn't matter. So she's thinking. But so as you go, the stomach goes in, the breath goes out, and then you just let the inhale come in through the vacuum. So practice for 5, and then actually what we'll do is we'll just ground first. So we'll just sit for a few breaths with your eyes closed. And just bringing yourself into the room, into your body. Opening your eyes. We're practicing Kapalabhati, Alison. So if you need to, you bring your hands to your stomach. Keep your eyes closed. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Inhale halfway and just practice 5 pumps. And then let the breath settle a moment. And now we're going to do 3 rounds of 10. So you're going to inhale deeply, exhale completely, inhale halfway, pump for 10, your own speed. Inhale, exhale, halfway, 10. Inhale, exhale, halfway, 10. Relax your hands to your lap. Bring your attention to your head, so feel that sensation. You may feel a lightness, slight dizziness. So really bring the breath in deep and let the exhale be longer than the inhale. the next exhale, lowering your head, blinking your eyes open. Looking forward, we're going to take our arms wide, come into cactus, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feel like the chest is lifting, but you're knitting the ribs. Draw the navel in, and then exhale, draw the elbows together. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, one more, inhale, exhale. Take your arms into cactus, take the arms wide, reach out through the fingertips, and keeping soft around the tops of the shoulders, the sides of the neck. We're going to do little circles in one direction. We'll go back the other way in a minute. So really feeling your toning all the way up to the upper arms. Get your gaze forward, and then back the other way. And then exhale, bring your hands down. And then we're going to bring the left hand to touch your shoulder blade, lift the elbow up, but we're going to do this in like a flowing movement. So Gomukhasana arms, you're going to have the other hand behind you, so the arm comes out, thumb down, lift your chest, gaze is straight ahead, and then you're going to release the arms, change to the other side. So you're not completely, you don't have to grip, but just getting this movement into your shoulders, and it's a bit like rubbing your tummy and patting your head. Feel the length in the spine, draw your navel in. And then come back to center. Once more, bring the arms into cactus. This time drop the elbows down, squeeze backwards, so you're drawing the lower part of the shoulder blades towards each other, keep your navel engaged. Inhale, come forward, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Then palms together, elbows together, lift your elbows up to shoulder height, and then turn the palms to face you, keep the heel of the hands together, and then press your elbows in towards each other, take the hands apart. Bring them together, keep that lift, take them apart, so just feeling through that external rotation at the top of the shoulder. And then exhale, hands together, bring your hands down, come onto hands and knees. Take your Christmas socks off. Okay. So we're going to feel into the calves, press down through the palms, spread the shoulder blades, and lift through the back of the head, so your head is in line with your shoulders. Gaze is down, tip the left foot back, you're on the ball of the foot, rock back to press through the heel. So you're really pushing through your palms. And then little rocks forward, back, so pulsing, feel the lower calf stretching. And then change sides. Firstly, push back and hold. Really press straight arms, spread the shoulder blades, lift your head slightly. And then rocking forward and back. Come back to tabletop, toes are tucked under. You're going to sit back onto your heels. So you need to spread your toes, so you can get all of them, depending on your anatomy, to touch the mat. And if you need to come forward, you can just lean forward a little, or you can even bring your weight onto the block a little. But trying to sit down, stretch the plantar fascia, the sole of the foot. And then point your toes. Don't let the heels roll outwards. Roll the heels towards each other. Sit back on your heels. We're going to just stretch across the front of the knees. So fingertips or palms behind you. Scoop the tailbone under. Lift your hips slightly and squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. So you're stretching a little through the front of the shoulders. You can just look down the front of your body. The only thing in cheap leggings is it's like Nora Batty. They're not like sweaty Betty. And then release, come forward. You're going to come, tuck the toes under again. This time come up onto the balls of your feet. And we're going to try and lower the knees and press your hips forward if you can without using your hands. But if you feel that you're going to just drop, I'll just show you. So you're trying to you can have the hands here, you're trying to, with control, lower the knees down and then press your hips forward. So you feel this lengthening through the front body, working the glutes, and then you want to try and come back. Hip, knee, mobility. So just give it a few turns. It doesn't matter if you need to use hands, that's fine. But helping to stretch through the toes, ankles, little press of the glutes. And back up. Okay. Now we're going to come into a version of camel. So camel is a back bend, so it's a little bit like a standing version or a kneeling version of bridge. So tuck your toes under to start with. Unless you're already good at back bends, then the actual pose is with your feet flat. So knees hip distance apart. You want to feel as if you're slightly, you try not to let the thighs roll out too much, because you'll feel the pelvis at the back will start to do this a little, so you'll get pinching in the lower back. So it's almost like, so rather than this, you want to feel as if you're hugging your thighs towards each other. Draw up through your pelvic floor, and you want to lift your chest up, but keep your gaze forward. So we're not really like this, but just as you go back, you'll feel. So we're going to hinge first rather than actually back bend. So prisoner arms. Lift up through your chest. Really feel the feet, the balls of the feet almost connecting if you can. You're going to rock back, hinge back without bending. Feel the thighs, glutes, lower back, and then come forward. And again, forward. So really lengthening through the front body, but you really need to use the back body as well. Come forward. Bend, sit down. You're going to come into a twist, so bring legs out in front of you. Bring the left heel to the outside of the right buttock. Hands to shin, lift up nice and tall, and if you can, you'll bring that foot over, if not, leave it where it was. But you want to, when you lift the foot over, you want to have both buttocks on the mat. Ideally. Draw yourself towards that front thigh, and then you're going to bring the left arm around the right knee, hand behind you, squeeze the thigh, exhale, revolve. So press that right big toe down, see if you can really feel into the stretch through the outer hips. Then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, unravel other side. So again, this is good enough, but if you can, lift the leg over, lifting up, and exhale, revolve. I think you're the other way round, so Chetna and Mari. You want to turn towards the thigh. So Yeah, and you've got the wrong leg round, but presumably you did it the other way, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Inhale, come back to centre. Come onto hands and knees. Tuck toes under, lift up into down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. Lower the left heel, so really feel that lengthening through the calf muscle. And then flex at the right ankle, so draw the toes towards the shin and lift the leg that little bit higher. Press through your palms. You're trying to straighten the leg, squeeze the quad, push through the heel. And then exhale, down dog. Other side, inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. So, like we were in camel, you want that internal rotation of the thigh, but here obviously straight leg, push through the heel, squeeze the quad. And then exhale, down dog. Other side again, inhale, right leg lifts, but this time get the strength in the quad, and then you're going to bend the knee, roll the knee up to the ceiling, stack the hips. So it's trying to draw the left heel down. You're looking under that right armpit, push the floor away, and then exhale to down dog. Other side. So firstly get into your three-legged dog, so you really squeeze the thigh, level the hips, and then you're going to stack hips up. And exhale, three-legged dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Elephant walks, so feet hip distance apart. Fingertips to the ground, or you can have hands to the back of the calves, but keep your stomach as close to your bent knees as possible. Relax your head, and then you're going to straighten alternate legs, or come towards straight. So you get the rock of the hips, like an elephant's bottom. And then slowly come to stand. Come to the front of the mat. We'll do a standing stretch, swaying palm. So inhale, bring your arms up, reach up, and then left hand takes hold of right, lift up, leaning over. So get long in the right side of the body, press the right hip out, stacking shoulders. Inhale, come back to centre, change the grip to the other hand, lift up, lean over, come back to centre, clasp the hands, turn the palms up, press up to the ceiling. So feel all the ways as you're pressing down through the soles of your feet, your kneecaps lift, core engages, lift your chest, and then exhale, release. Half salutes from the front of the mat, standing in mountain. Inhale, bring your palms to touch. Exhale, forward fold. You don't need to watch me. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half salutes all the way up, sorry. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. One more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Standing mountain. 2 rounds of Sun Salute A, Surya Namaskar A. In the front of the mat, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands up, look up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga, bending knees, step back. So you can roll forward into up dog or come down to cobra. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Flatten the feet. Exhale to down dog. 3 breaths. And then inhale to come forward to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, hands up, palms to touch. Exhale to mountain. So one more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Take 3 breaths. Inhale to come forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands up. Exhale, hands to heart, standing mountain. So 1 round of Sun Salute B, Surya Namaskar B. So chair pose and Warrior 1. So when you come up to Warrior 1, it's actually just on the inhale and you exhale back down through Chaturanga. So normally we take our time, but we're going to go with the full pace and see how you get on. So you've got to be quicker. So follow me. Standing in mountain. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Got to be quick. Inhale, left foot between your hands, come into Warrior 1. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot between your hands, Warrior 1. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take 3 breaths. Inhale to come forward to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale to chair pose. Squeeze the thighs, palms to touch. Exhale to mountain. I had faith in you, I knew you would. So it's just normally we take the time to get the alignment, but in like the Ashtanga or when you flow, we don't wait to get it right. You just steam on through. So okay, we're going to do so. Bend your knees, bring your fingertips down, relax your head, and then you're going to step the right foot back a little. We're going to come into a standing split. So that means you can use your block, so you can have blocks so your hands are a little higher. So this is like the right leg is going to go straight up and back as if you're doing 3-legged dog. So don't let it roll out to the side, you want internal rotation. But if you can, hands on the floor. And then draw your navel in. You can bend the standing leg a little. Lift the right leg up as high as you can. So it doesn't matter, it's not a split. I can't do the splits. But it's feeling into the standing leg. So you want to try and do that little elephant walk by straightening the leg more. You can then do a little bend if you want to, but trying to relax the head down. Squeeze your core. And then exhale, float the right foot next to the left. Take a moment and then slowly come up. Other side. So if you want to go a little bit deeper and you feel you've got the balance, you can take your hands around the calf of the standing leg. Otherwise,
do what feels safe. So you're bending down, take the left foot back, inhale, standing up, so strong through the left leg, stand up through the right leg, but you're trying to keep your tummy towards your knee. You lift that leg up. If you want to bring a hand behind the right calf to help a little bit more internal rotation of that back leg, and then exhale, float the foot down, take a moment, slowly come to stand.
So when we're working into back bends, legs really need to be strong. So we're obviously working through our core, but we're trying to lengthen and warm up the thighs in particular. A little flow. Going to come through a vinyasa. So standing at the front of the mat. And when you take a vinyasa, you don't have to do the vinyasa. This is where you can wait in down dog. Because I'm going to add a few in between poses. So if it's too much and you're too hot or it's uncomfortable, you can just pause and wait and settle your breath. Okay, so exhale. Bring your palms down, step back for chaturanga. Lower for the inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, right leg lift, step the right foot between your hands, come up into warrior one. So we're taking our time this time, because this is a little back bend. Strong through the thighs, you want to right knee over right ankle, directly over the middle toes. And then internal rotation of the back thigh. Bring your hands up. If you need to, James one finger so you can straighten those arms. Lift your chest, and you want to draw your navel in, knit the ribs so you're not just collapsing through the upper body, but you want to sink your hips, lean back, look at your thumbs. Strong through the back heel, and then exhale. Take a vinyasa, so now palms down, step back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step the left foot forward, come up into warrior one on the left side. Same thing, so feeling how strong the back leg is, but everybody check that your knee is over, not forward of your ankle, but we're trying to get your front thigh almost parallel to the mat. Draw the navel in, lift through, so you're pointing the fingers up to the ceiling, leaning back, sink your hips. Last section of the vinyasa, take a vinyasa or wait in down dog. Okay, from down dog, we're going to come forward into pigeon. Right leg, so right knee behind your right wrist, toes across to the other side, sink back, and then walk your hands back. So you're on your fingertips beside that front knee, so that you can press through the shin and lift up. So really squeeze the thighs, squeeze your pelvic floor, lift your chest. And then as you sink your hips, you'll feel here, if you're, instead of folding forward, you can feel the back bend here. So hips are sinking, but you want to press through the top of the back foot, push down through the front shin, and don't let go of that. So keep that tone, draw your chest forward, sink your hips, come forward. So just come to your forearms if you can. You can stay up on your palms if you need to. Staying in this position, you're going to bend the back knee then come up onto your palms. Bring your right hand forward, and it can go slightly out to the right, or as far out to the right as you need it. You're going to lean back, thumb down, take hold of the back foot, and then rolling the chest and hips towards the front again. So now feel as if you're pressing through the back knee. If you can't reach for it, you can stay here, like a hamstring curl, but we're trying to stretch through the front of the shin. So even the elbow can go up as you draw the foot towards you, and then exhale, lower that foot down. Bring your palms hip shoulder width apart, tuck the left toes under, step back to down dog. Give the legs a little paddle. And then inhale, left knee behind left wrist. So we're going to do pigeon. Again, this is like half of king pigeon, because king pigeon is that, I actually can't do it, but it's the back leg, you come up, it's a strong back bend, and you hold your back foot. So that's why, if you feel you're doing, that's why you need to squeeze down through your legs. So particularly the front one, you lift up and you lean back, and then both hands will grab the back foot. Anyway, if you want to do that, go ahead. But at the moment, we're just feeling the thighs being strong while we're here. So press down through the shins. Come forward. So soften into your pigeon, let the hips sink, trying not to roll off to the left. Just letting the legs relax. And then coming up onto your palms. Bending that back leg. So ideally, you should be in this angle that you're actually on the front of your knee, so the bottom of your thigh almost, rather than on the kneecap. So hopefully it shouldn't hurt. You're going to bend that. You're going to take the left hand out. Start to lean back. Bring the arm round with the thumb down. Draw that heel in, so bending the elbow, so soft through the elbow, turning. You can lean back a little bit. If you can turn the ribs round towards the mat again. And then exhale, release, thank God. Step back into down dog, walk the dog. Okay, and then drop your knees. Keep your toes tucked under. Come up onto your knees. So thighs at hip distance apart, toes tucked under. Now you're going to, so before we hinged back like this, this time you're going to bring the heel of your hand just above your buttock. So there's your QL, this band of muscles just above the buttock. So heel of your hand presses in there, so your fingers are facing down towards your heels. Hug your elbows in, lift your chest, so you feel you're strong through the upper body, your gaze is straight ahead. Squeeze the glutes gently so the thighs aren't going to roll out. And same thing, we're going to hinge a little, but start to lift your chest. So we're not going to back bend as such, but you're leaning back slightly. Feel the front of the thighs, push your hands into your bottom, and then come up. And do that again. Okay, it's actually quite difficult if you've got tight shoulders or like an arm injury to try and get your elbows towards each other. That's what gives you the protection. So it's a little bit harder if you can't do that as much. Okay, one more. Lift your chest, draw your navel in, thighs are strong, and come forward. Point your toes, sit back on your heels. So we're going to have a go at camel. So if your camel will actually be the full poses with the feet down, you reach both hands back, lift your chest up. But we're just going to go in gently because we still haven't done a lot of back bending. But so we're going to tuck the toes under, and you're actually going to hinge back like we had with prisoner arms. So strong through the core and the thighs, hinge back, and you're going to reach for the heel. And then you can reach both hands down, and then lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. You can drop the head back, but I suggest you just keep looking forward, unless you can bring the head back up easily. Press the hips forward, use your glutes, use your thighs. And then inhale, draw your chin down, come forward, sit back on your heels. Take a breath. So they're quite intense back bends. So what we're trying to do is like make sure you're using your legs, because otherwise it can just dump right into your lower back. So we're trying to get strong through the chest, so you've got long. So this is the space and light element, is that we're trying not to just drop down, because the most mobile part of your back is your lower back. So that's where it'll take all the impact if you don't actually use your body to lengthen the spine and to lean back. So, okay, we're going to move a little. Down dog. Inhale, bring the right foot between your hands, drop the left knee down. Come into low lunge. So flatten the foot, draw the arms up. So arms straight up, take the hips back slightly, scoot the tailbone, and then lunge forward. Lift your chest. So adding a little back bend, but we're actually stronger through the hips. So looking up between the thumbs, lean back, shoulders soft, and then exhale, palms down. Tuck the left toes under, step back to down dog. Roll forward into high plank. Hug the forearms together, hug the ankles together. Lift up into down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, bring the left foot between your hands, drop the right knee down. Low lunge. Sink the hips, bring the arms up. So feeling the difference here is you let yourself sink into the back bend, and then you're going to draw the hips back, draw the tailbone down slightly, and then lunge. You go less far, but you can feel it more in the stretch in the front of the thigh, looking up, shoulders soft. Exhale, palms down, step back to down dog, roll forward into high plank. So hips up, everyone come hips up slightly. Hug shins and forearms towards each other. You want to feel as if you're pressing out between your shoulder blades. Come forward slightly, shoulders over wrists, and then lift into down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, bring the right foot between your hands. Left foot forward, come to halfway lift. So feel the backs of the legs straighten, lift your head, lift your tailbone. And then exhale, fold. Hang your head, bend your knees. Take 2 fingers and wrap with the thumb around the big toes. Head is hanging, let the elbows come out to the side. So soft through the elbows, inhale, lift your hips. So you're trying to keep your chest towards your thighs, trying to straighten the legs if you can, without straight arms pulling through the shoulders. So use your exhale to soften. Inhale, straighten your arms, look up. So it's halfway lift, but you're holding onto your feet, feeling into the backs of the legs. And then bend your knees, hang your head, release your hands, hands to hips, slowly come up to stand. Okay. Right. We're going to bring the block actually to the front of the mat. So we're going to come into Warrior 3. So Warrior 3, these women running over.
Just lazy, isn't
You stood there looking helpless.
it? I am.
Okay, so, but you can use your hands on the block, or either way, or you can bring your fingertips to the floor. So we're going to go into standing split first, so taking the right leg back. So if you need to be a little higher. So straight back, roll the hip, the right thigh internally, take the leg up. But keep now your shoulders are over your wrists, we're not doing the all the way standing split. We're just trying to feel into the hips. So what will happen is that, so you don't want that, you want to go straight up and back and drop the right hip down. You'll feel how intense it is on your left leg, your left glute. So if you can reach the floor, your fingertips will be on the floor, but otherwise use the block. Right leg lifts. And even practice that. You want to squeeze the kneecap, so really feel strong through the right thigh. And now drop the right hip down, you're trying to level it. So as you drop it down, you need to pull up through the left hip. And exhale, float that leg down. You can come up if you need to. Legs. Okay, other side. So we're going to keep the chest coming forward. So left leg goes up and back. Push through the heel, squeeze the quad, stand up through the right leg and then drop the hip. You can keep lifting the leg up, but you want to try and level the hips. And just that action, you'll feel how strong it is through the right leg. And then exhale, float down, just relax a moment and then slowly come up. Okay, now we're going to do Warrior 3 without our hands down. So you can, the full Warrior 3 is with your arms, your ears between your arms, so your arms in line with your spine. But if you want to, you can have hands to your hips or hands to your heart, whichever you think's easier. But so it's easier to bring the arms in last. So if you're feeling stable, then we go from there. So we'll start with, take the weight into your left foot, and you can bend your knees a little, step the right foot back. So you kind of got a little launch. Feel strong through the core. Inhale, lift, so your gaze goes down, but back of the head in line with the spine. Lift the right leg to hip height, and then roll the thigh under you. Keep lifting the heel up. If you can then extend the arms, use your breath. And have, if they're extended, turn the palms to face each other. Push through the fingertips. Inhale, float the right foot next to the left. Slowly come up. Well done. And the other side. So we're trying to get the back heel, the hips, shoulders, and the back of the head in one, and the hands all in one long line. It's a process. Okay, other side. So really strong. So feel that strong mountain pressing. If your hands are at your heart, lift your chest, press the thumbs into them. Take the weight into your, right foot. Is that right? Left foot, that, yeah. Step, and you can start with a bent leg and then stand, but really strong through that back leg. Push through the heel, stamp on the wall behind you, drop the hip down, lift the heel, and then reach the arms if you can. Breathe. Head up, Mari. So, and exhale. Release. Well done. We've got one more pose. So take your belt and you're going to make a small loop at the end of your belt. So going to take it in through both rings and then back through one, so back down the middle. And then pull it all the way, because your foot is going to hook. So firstly, we could actually just come to the wall, might be easier. If you want to come to the wall, it doesn't matter if you don't drag your mat, but firstly we'll do without the strap. So, I'll show you here. Dancer pose. So, it's this dancer is to hold the foot behind you, so like when we were trying in pigeon. But when you take the leg back, it's not this. We want to have the leg like warrior 3 or standing split. The leg goes straight back and bends. You lift your chest. You take your hand, so if you can, your hand will come to the inside with the thumb up, but the easier option is the outside of the foot with the thumb down. And then you stand up and lean, so it's pushing foot into hand and trying to roll the shoulder forward and reach, and if you can, you'll reach the other arm forward. But the strap is to help those of you who can't reach your foot to extend. So you might want to try first, so you can turn sideways on, and obviously it depends which. So have the leg that's on the outside is the one that you bend, and then you're going to reach back, trying to grip the outside. You can lean forward, but then you want to back bend. So draw your navel in, lift your chest, squeeze, turn the elbow up if you can. You're going to squeeze the foot and try and lift that back thigh. Look at you all. Yep, and if you can, you'll reach. You can do a hand mudra. You can have whichever. Oh, wrong hand. Hand mudra. Okay, and exhale, change to the other side. So the thing with the wall is that's where the strap might be needed, is when you're in the middle of the room. So we don't need the strap currently. Okay, so you're trying to drop the hip like warrior 3. So hips almost level. So pull up through the standing leg, lower the hips. So you want internal rotation of the lifted leg. And look up. So it's a back bend. You want to lift your chest. Let the hips sink a little, hold through. Steady. And then exhale. Release. Okay. So you can either stay at the wall and do one more if you wanted to each side, or you can try in the centre of on your mat. And the thing with being on your mat, it might help to have the strap, but sometimes it ends up being a bit like Santa's sack, but it's not a very graceful that you want to have both hands so behind your head, and then you can lift the foot and lean. Lift your chest. So you're trying to shorten the strap. So draw your elbows together and so push through the heel. You want to shorten the strap. Lift your chest up a little, that bend. So look forward. Yeah. Okay. Fine with the strap, it helps with the back bend because you can. But it is yes. You want to try and get your left down. Yeah, so what's happening is this. So you want to go straight back like this. So it's a back bend like a side roll. So hands behind your head. Yeah. And then release the strap, yeah. It's, so rather than hands forward, you think it's making it more complicated, but what the strap's trying to do is you're trying to have the strap here, so it's like you're holding your foot behind you. Like when we were down here, it's the same. It's harder when you're on the floor because you've got less movement in the leg, but when I was in pigeon, here, my hands behind my head, I can then draw my foot towards me. Quite ready for that. But it's that action of being able to lift your chest and draw your foot towards your head with your hands behind your back. But what happens is everyone does this, you just want to pull your foot.
Yeah.
So it's more shortening the strap, lifting into a back bend. That's where we were going. But let's all come to sit. We'll just do a little flowing bridge, just to release the core, the lower back. So in bridge, as you inhale, you'll lift your hips and reach your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down beside you. That's the problem with the harder poses. We kind of need a little bit more time to work into it. That's dancer pose, Natarajasana. And then windshield wipers. Take your feet wide, arms out to the side. Drop your knees one way. Roll your head to the other. And then we're going to, if you take your block for a supported bridge, so you're going to have, come into bridge and then you'll bring the block under your pelvis, the bony part of your hips. Just have your hands out to the side. This is just drawing a little length into the lower back. Okay, and then flip the block down to its flattest under your pelvis and straighten your legs. So now just stretching across, just gently across the front of the hips. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you don't need to do this. Or you could even just put your towel roll under your hips, it might be a little bit gentler. And then we're going to come into Shavasana, relaxation. So put your warm things on.